It wasn't a team meeting or a press quote. It was one line, short, quiet, and stunning. And for Charles Leclerc, it didn't come from Ferrari's pit wall. It came from Lewis Hamilton. After a dramatic, rain-soaked Silverstone Grand Prix, where chaos ruled and instinct defined the outcome, it wasn't the finishing order that shook the paddock. It was what came after. One sentence, calm, not shouted or posted online. Just said, with intent, and understood by everyone who mattered. This wasn't about who stood on the podium. It was about what happened when the engines cooled and helmets came off. In Formula One, real power doesn't always roar. Sometimes, it whispers. Hamilton, soaked in sweat and rain, had just dragged an unsettled Ferrari to fourth. No finger-pointing, no excuses, just a sentence that shifted the team's internal compass. It wasn't dramatic, but it didn't have to be. When a seven-time world champion speaks with quiet clarity after a stormy race, the impact isn't in the volume. It's in the truth. And that truth is what Ferrari now has to confront. This story takes you through that moment, not just the words, but the storm that led to them. The difference in decisions, the split-second instincts, the silence on one side of the garage and the authority on the other. Because Silverstone didn't just test drivers, it revealed them. And what Hamilton revealed? It wasn't just a race win, it was a message. A shocking one, especially for Leclerc. Silverstone was already a pressure cooker. Grey skies, unpredictable radar, and mounting tension created a perfect storm. On lap 13, the skies opened. Rain transformed the Grand Prix into survival mode. Grip vanished, visibility dropped, and decisions became everything. Both Hamilton and Leclerc had the same car, same tools, same tyres, but their choices couldn't have been more different. Leclerc hesitated, asking, "Do I box?" The pit wall gave no clear answer, so he stayed out, waiting. Meanwhile, Hamilton didn't wait. He felt the track go slick, trusted his gut, and made the call. Wets now, no debate. No panic, just instinct, just leadership. The difference wasn't just in lap times, it was in mindset. While Leclerc struggled through uncertain corners, Hamilton drove like he already knew the ending. Each shift, brake and throttle lift showed a driver reading the track as if it was second nature. Ferrari's radar hesitated. Hamilton didn't. This wasn't luck, it was command under pressure. One driver looked for answers, the other was the answer. And that's when the cracks began to show. That radio moment, seconds long, split Ferrari's future in two. Leclerc's question wasn't bad, but it came too late. Hamilton had already acted. Wets now, no debate. That wasn't a suggestion, it was a decision. He didn't seek permission, he gave direction. And that difference set the tone for the rest of the race. Hamilton sensed the change before any data could confirm it. He adjusted his brake balance at Brooklands, felt the loss of grip at turn 4, and trusted his feel over forecasts. While strategy tools blinked uncertainly, Hamilton became the strategy. That's what pressure reveals. Not noise, but control. And in that storm, Hamilton didn't just race, he led. When the rain cleared, the field reshuffled as. Hamilton surged to fourth. Leclerc lapped. Not just slower, forgotten in the spray. But the real story wasn't the result. It was the difference in control. Silverstone wasn't just a race. It was a shift. A quiet, fundamental tilt inside Ferrari. In Formula One, leadership isn't just about contracts. It's about presence when everything falls apart. And when the moment came, it wasn't the long-time Ferrari man who stepped up. It was the new one. Hamilton's decisions didn't just help his own race. They rippled upward, through the engineering room, through team morale, through the Ferrari culture. While Leclerc asked, Hamilton acted. And that clarity, that willingness to lead, didn't go unnoticed. It became influence. The kind teams quietly begin to follow, even if no one says it aloud. After the race, the moment that mattered wasn't caught on camera. It happened in the calm. No drama, just Hamilton, quiet, focused, dropping one line. The grip told me everything I needed. You can't wait for the data in these conditions. That was it. One sentence, but everyone in the room understood exactly what it meant. No names were mentioned. They didn't have to be. The gap had already been revealed over 52 laps. This wasn't a jab, it was a lesson. Leadership without noise, a masterclass in presence. Hamilton wasn't trying to win a debate, he was showing how leadership works when the race is at its wildest. Ferrari, a team steeped in legacy and structure, heard that line louder than any radio call. They understood its weight. Because when the chaos hits, it's not stats or simulations that win races. It's the calmest hand on the wheel. Hamilton showed he was that hand. For Leclerc, it wasn't an insult. It was a mirror, a reflection of how things unravelled. After the race, he spoke about instability, spray, setup, the usual debrief lines. But inside Ferrari, the deeper truth was already visible. The issue wasn't just performance, it was hesitation. Leclerc, though talented and fast, still looks outward in pressure moments, still asks for guidance, still waits. Hamilton doesn't wait, he leads, and that difference, even if only seconds on track, carries weight inside the team. The pressure on Leclerc now isn't just about results, it's about relevance. Ferrari's engineers, once fully aligned with him, are slowly starting to recalibrate, not because of declarations, but because of what they saw when the storm hit. Inside Ferrari's garage, the race might have ended, but the shift began. One call for wets became a revelation. Hamilton's track feel, his calm under pressure, his live decision-making. It's now becoming the framework for internal analysis. His data isn't just heard, it's being studied, used, applied, especially in early development for the 2026 car. Suddenly, Hamilton's approach isn't the new guy's method. It's becoming the standard. Until Silverstone, Leclerc had been the primary reference point, the lead input for setups, simulator baselines, and testing direction. But now, Ferrari is beginning to ask different questions. Who leads the calls when it counts? Who reads the track best? Who sets the tone when it matters? And increasingly, the answer is Hamilton. Older F1 fans, the ones who saw Schumacher wring results from impossible cars, who remember Senna slicing through rain at Donington, recognise Silverstone for what it was. It wasn't about flash. It was foundation. Hamilton didn't win the race. He changed the narrative. In the same way legacy drivers once did, not by seeking attention, but by commanding it without trying. That's what resonates. Legacy isn't noise, it's presence. A calm voice on the radio, a choice made before the radar confirms it, a lead taken when others pause. Silverstone gave those fans a glimpse of something they hadn't seen in years. A shift being built lap by lap, not shouted from the rooftops. Hamilton didn't just send a message, he became one. His calm clarity redefined the race, and within Ferrari, it's redefining direction. He's not asking for control, he's earning it naturally. Strategists are listening more closely, engineers are adjusting more quickly. Quietly, the team is shifting around his voice. Because when the storm hits, you don't follow the loudest voice, you follow the one that brings calm. That's Hamilton now. Not just the new guy in red, he's the compass. And whether Ferrari says it aloud or not, Silverstone made it clear. They're not just racing with Hamilton, they're beginning to follow him.